And welcome back, everybody. It's another Tuesday night live from Runts Barbecue, and it's mouth-watering barbecue. They call it a little bit better barbecue, but Travis, it's a whole lot better barbecue, and the fixing that go along with it are even better.
Absolutely. So tonight, a little ribs going along with the shrimp. It's good stuff, man. No, very, very good. And you know, I didn't know they served nachos here, but I guess one of our kids just taught us that too. So here we go.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that as our show progresses. But let's first of all talk with the head coach of the Muskogee Ruffers, Travis Hill. Exactly where you want to be, 4-0.
No, Bill, it is. It's good to feel that way. And our coaches would probably think they don't understand that because Coach Hill is still upset all the time. And we still got a lot of improvement to do in some areas and everything like that, but we are getting better, and that's what the whole objective is. And if we continue to do that, it'll give us an opportunity to reach our plateau. But it's nice. Sometimes to get better, you got to take a loss. And so far that we haven't had to mess with that, and our kids are still actively out there every day at practice, getting better, game preparation, everything else. So we're on the right track.
Final score last Friday night ended up being 59-14 in favor of the Ruffers. And the post-game comments, the post-game armchair quarterback conversations were, what was the difference in the first half and the second half? It was 24-14 at halftime in favor of the Ruffers, but still it just didn't feel like everything was flowing smoothly. Everybody wondered, what did you guys tell the players at halftime that made a defensive shutout and then the offense just went wild?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty simple. You got to get a pulse for your team, and I think number one thing that I think a lot of people need to understand, especially when you're dealing with young people, you can't go in and fake anything. That doesn't work. So if you're feeling a certain way, but our approach this time was just simply what I felt inside as the head football coach was, it was just assignment work. It wasn't the effort's there. We looked at the film, we studied that stuff constantly. The effort's there. The kids are wanting to. Sometimes, man, you can actually want something too much. So when I say that to an audience on option football, I got the quarterback. That's my responsibility. So as I come down, sometimes I'm going to go make the play over here, and I'm going to go make the play over here. And all of a sudden, I'm just not taking care of my responsibility. So I think our kids went in at halftime, were told that information, and were able to go out and execute that second half.
One of the advantages you and the members of your staff have, not only to look at halftime, but also during the game, and I know you referenced this in our conversations earlier, you were able to look at the iPad and the shots there on the sideline and realize what was going on, and then make that communication, Travis Hill style, to your players and get the job end result.
And typically I'm not the one who does that. I'm managing the game, so as the head football coach. But, you know, I took the opportunity to do that. These guys that are next to me, he'll talk a little bit more about it later on. They're able to. Actually, you watch film during the process of the game, so everything's downloaded. It's just called a sideline huddle, and basically you were able to see those plays. So you can do a lot of teaching because, like anybody else, you learn as well as anything else visually. And whenever you see the kid sees, hey, I missed my assignment, and he actually physically sees it, it definitely plays big dividends, and we were able to do that stuff at halftime too in order to get some corrections.
Well, that certainly made a difference because the offensive abilities to move the football and keep the ball out of the offense's hands last Friday night in the second half by the Ruffer defense. I mean, they pitched a shutout, and that wasn't the way it was going at halftime. But then once the second half got going, when the defense got going, so did the offense.
It typically works that way. It can swing either way like that. And the whole idea is we're giving them the opportunity. We're getting threes and outs, and so the more reps they get, the more – you know, offense is often done on being fluid. You know, it's on a rhythm, and so the rhythm got really good on the offense. The defense was able to get out and get the other team off the field. Obviously, you're not going to score a whole lot if they're controlling the game by having the football in their hands. So things went well. Great second half. Kids performed well.
Well, it was 59-14 the final score. You got your max 15 points, which in any district game, that's you want to win, but you also want to go home with 15 in your pocket.
Anytime you can get that, you do that because at the end of the year, you hope none of that would come into play. But if it does, you better get them while you can.
Ruffers this Friday night will go back on the road. They'll go to take on the Patriots of Putnam City West in a Friday night showdown in the OKC metro area. We'll talk more about the upcoming opponent for Muskogee. But when we come back, we're going to give a chance for you to get to know what goes through the day-to-day operations for Prentice Joseph. And there are a lot of responsibilities. Not only does he work in that defensive front, but he's also got a lot of recruiting chores that he has to help the players with. We'll talk to Coach Joe when we come back after our first time out on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show live from Runt's Barbecue.
Have you been injured as a result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you are dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The #1 choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember, ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Ruffers.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Welcome back on our Tuesday night visit to the hot spot in town when it comes to barbecue. That's Runt's Barbecue here on West Okmulgee. And Travis, tonight you've got a member of your staff that knows football, X's and O's, knows how to communicate and build relationships with the players. But when he comes to Runt's, he knew how to eat. I mean, he's been already doing some pretty heavy work. I know you do heavy work in the weightlifting room, but he's done some pretty heavy work on that 3-meat combo.
He does well with that, and he knew exactly what he came with a purpose. I'll just leave it. He came with a purpose.
He came with a game plan,
Yes,
that's
sir.
for sure. Prentice Joseph, who works as a defensive line coach, but he's also the recruiting coordinator for the Muskogee Ruffers. And Prentice, that changes day to day. I mean, with how kids are in contact with possible coaches, and one of the things that we've even seen this season, you have to be aware of the fake offers.
Oh, yes, sir. We ran into that this summer. It's just one of those situations. People taking advantage of kids. Kids, they wanna get recruited. They want to get the offers. They see it every day on Twitter, and sometimes some evil people out there that. But I think the kid that it happened to handled it well, and he's been great ever since. But you just got to stay attentive.
So talk about how you work with the young men as they seek to prepare themselves for their future, their interactions. I know a lot of coaches come through Coach Hill and ultimately to you, but then there are also those that you're reaching out to, trying to get an abundance of information out to these recruiting coordinators for future opportunities for the players.
You just cast a wide net. You reach out to teams near and far. You stay.
So you cast a 4-meat net, not just 3.
A wide net. You stay on Twitter. That's where you see everything at coaches posts. I'll be in this state this week, or I'm looking if you have a class of 25 that I'm looking for, and I reach out to them. And some coaches, they're like, we already have that position filled, but if something comes up, we'll let you know. You just build relationship with college coaches. Basically.
It's all about followers and number of contacts that you've got. How many followers does the Coach Joe Show have on Twitter?
That's a great question. I really don't know. I'm around 3,000.
Okay.
But Coach Hill is a real source. Coach Levy Adcock is a real source. Like, I'm the main guy.
Yeah.
But it's really our whole staff reaching out to people. Coach Gordon today was a huge help, reaching out to a college out in Florida that he knew someone at. He has a family member at. So I use my sources on staff.
It's a networking.
It's a network,
Yep.
and I just go from there. But we have a great group of kids, grade-wise, that got it done on their end, grade-wise, and obviously we're 4-0 right now. They're doing what they need to do on the field. So that makes it easier to sell.
Now, Travis, I know that you've admitted that the technology of things is not
My
your
cup of tea.
primary strong suit, although you're learning it, maximizing it, and being able to communicate with your players and your parents on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
But you've also got your own Twitter page and get information out. But this guy to your left is kind of a big source for helping you out there.
Yeah, it's a big source. So, hey, Coach, do me a favor. Post this, do that. So yeah, it's more than a favor.
The head man passing it down to the assistant.
But I really want to put the good news, and he does such a wonderful job with that. And every program and every head coach has a different way of going about this. I feel like this is huge for us. That our kids deserve that. Some coaches don't feel like that's part of the process. That's not part of what they're there for. So we are big on that because these guys, for one, I want to coach a football team that has aspirations of moving on. I mean, that makes them a more prominent football player and willing to do things it takes to do that. But he does such a great job with that. Works with our community service too. So just want to let you know. And he does. He reaches out high and far to try to give our kids the best opportunities to be seen, and then it's up to the kid after that.
I know there's a community event. I don't know if it's this week or if it's next week. Walk a mile in her shoes. Have we talked to Coach Joe about walking in the high heels?
Because it's kind of like the old Twitter account. I'd say, Coach, can you post this? And maybe say, Coach, can you go walk in high heels?
No, you are going to go walk in high heels.
We haven't got that far yet, but we're going to work on it tonight.
All right, Prentice, let's talk about the X's and O's on the field. We talked about you're a defensive line specialist. We got a couple of big offensive line hogs here for the next segment. How do you go about defensively putting together that 4 or sometimes 3-man front to get the maximum effort up front, and you're doing it with still pretty young players?
Yeah, we lost 8 off the defense last year, and I replaced my whole D-line. So it's been a growing process, but it's every day. It's just about rep after rep after rep after rep. If it's special teams and you're not on the special teams, we're probably getting more reps, doing more drills, and it has shown that they have improved, and we just have to keep getting better week after week. That's the main goal this season. Did we get better from the week before?
How do you get that defensive lineman? I mean, they've got to have a little bit of nasty to themselves anyway.
You have to.
And have to be the aggressor, not the receiver. How do you get that high level of performance out of them through your coaching style and then their X's and O assignments?
Well, when you have to go against these two guys over here every day at practice, you kind of don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I think that's our advantage that I feel like we have one of the best O-lines in the state. And I'll say that against whoever. And we have to practice against that every single day. And they compete every single day. Every single day we go at it. It should have been in practice today, Bill.
Well, I understand, too. During the off week, you had a little one-on-one competition, and things got more than just a little bit inspired.
Oh, always. But that's what makes them great. It happens on the field, and we go in the locker room, it's all over. Yep. But it's a beautiful thing when we can get game time reps at practice.
Now, I know you came from south of the Red River.
Yes, sir, Texas.
But you were smart enough to come north of the Red River to continue your coaching career and your future. Tell me a little bit about the family. Tell me a little bit about the family of Coach Joe.
My wife's name's Kayla. I have 3 kids, Alexis, 17. My son Jaden's 12, and my son Cade, 9 years old. And, it's football season, so I'm away a lot right now.
Yep.
But very supportive, understand. I mean, you have to when you're
What do you tell the boys about the game of football when they come to you and say, Dad, I want to play? How do you get them ready to go?
Well, I'll tell you right now, my son Jaden, he comes to every football game, but he's watching the band. All right, he plays trombone in the band in middle school right now,
All right.
and so he's into that, and so he comes to he understands football, but he's like, hey, Dad, one day I'm gonna be over there in the band. I'm like, hey, if that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
football is what I love, and what he loves is what he loves.
Encourage them to seek their own choice and
Yes,
find
sir.
happiness in doing it. Now, before we get a break here and get to talk to our big offensive lineman down to your left, I mentioned about coming from the state of Texas, and somebody pulled a win over a higher-rated club, and all of a sudden the number 1 ranked Longhorns slipped a notch in this week's college football rankings. Is that to your liking?
No, that's fine. Just like last year and even this year, the only ranking that matters is the last one. And so we can be 2 all year as long as when the season ends, the Longhorns are 1 and the Muskogee Ruffers are 1. That's what matters.
I think it's really more the Muskogee Ruffers that you care about being number 1 than anybody south of the Red River.
That is correct.
Brentis Jost has been our guest here in this segment. We're going to take another time out for Runts Barbecue and give the coaches and myself a chance to continue our destroyment of the feast here at Runts Barbecue. When we come back, the 2 guys that have totally devoured their 3 meat combos here at Runts. They'll join us. It'll be Jalen Burns and Miguel Chavez, 2 big members of the offensive front, will join us when we continue the Tuesday Night Coaches Show live from Runts Barbecue in Muskogee.
Nobody beats the All-Star teams, now with 2 dealerships right off of West Shawnee Bypass. Together, Honda of Muskogee and All-Star CDJR have the finest selection of vehicles in town. Whether you're looking for a brand new Honda, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, or a pre-owned make and model of any kind, we've got you covered. We work with all types of budgets, so why wait? Come see for yourself why nobody beats the All-Star CDJR and Honda of Muskogee teams. Go Ruffers, and have a great game.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
I'm Kyle Edwards for Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and the all-new Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota. With the addition of Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Shakota and Buick GMC in Muskogee, it now gives our customers a great lineup of new makes and models to choose from. We are very proud to bring you a buying experience you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't visited us yet, come give us a chance. You'll like what you see. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Kyle Edwards Buick GMC in Muskogee and Kyle Edwards Auto Group in Shakota.
Runts Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts. Runts Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken. Where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runts Barbecue. 918-681-3900. Runts Barbecue. Slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Welcome back to Runts Barbecue, where it's always a little bit of barbecue and a whole lot of really good desserts. But best of all, if you come here and you leave here hungry, it's your own fault. Bill Huddleston, along with head coach of the Ruffers, Travis Hill. And to your left, coach, is 2 big reasons that offensive line this season has been overpowering your first 4 opponents.
Very good look. You know, we had 2 of them last week, 2 seniors, Jackson Raper and O'Shea Stevenson. This week we got Jalen Burns right immediately to my left. And a little bit one seat down, we got Miguel Chavez. So very large young men, and they do a great job. And Bill, after every play when we play offense, it looks like, if you look down the line play, it looks like a car wreck. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Whether it's them or the other team, but everybody's
most of the time, though, it's the green machine that's on top of the pile.
Yeah, it's fun to watch them go to work, and I really think that's what they enjoy. And so Coach Adcock and Coach Gordon and Coach Deason doing a good job with them.
Well, let's talk to these 2 good guys on the left of the coach. And numerically, if you take a look at them, they're side by side, 70 and then 71. Jalen Burns wearing the jersey number 70. Miguel Chavez wearing the number 71. I'm just going to ask you guys, truth or consequences, or truth tell. How tall, Jalen? How much? How much on the scales?
6'2", 315.
6'2", 315. Now, how much bigger is that this year than what you were last year before you came to Muskogee?
It's the same.
It's the same?
Yes, sir.
All right. How do you carry that type of weight and just mash that opposing defensive guy?
Just training in the offseason, doing agility work.
Okay. Miguel, how tall? How much?
6'5", sitting at 305.
6'5" and 305. Now,
Yes, sir.
you're at the tackle spot. Jalen's at the guard spot. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
How do you talk to me about the differences in responsibilities? Miguel, you go first. What's your responsibilities are at that offensive tackle spot in the game, in the line?
Definitely in the tackle, you have to keep the outside guy outside on protection, pass protection for Bird, so he can throw that thing. And then I feel like the guard is much easier. You just help out.
He just called you out, Jalen.
I'm just gonna say it, but I think it's easier to help out. You just help out the center and then help out the tackle when you need them. So.
Jalen, you want to give some contradictory thought to that? Which job's easier, guard or tackle?
I'll say guard. You mostly got double teams most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Never really by yourself.
Okay. Now, he talked about staying there and protect so Bird can throw the football. But because of this year's offense being really twofold, almost 50-50 in choices, is it harder to pass block than to run block, Jalen?
I don't think either is hard. I just go do it.
And because he's scrambling around out there a lot of times and getting out and then creating on his own, how do you stay in that pass protection mode and not try to get upfield too fast and then out comes the yellow hanky?
You just got to find work nearby. Can't go upfield.
All right. Miguel, talk a little bit about how you keep yourself in the box, so to speak, and not be peeking upfield to go destroy somebody.
I mean, I try to turn my back to Bird so he doesn't get, hit or anything. So that's pretty much it, though. So
Talk to me about the pride you guys carry in that offensive line, because Coach has talked about the aggressiveness and the success of the offense is really coming off the size and the mobility as well as the strength of the offensive front. How much of a responsibility and sense of pride when that ball goes down the end zone, whether it's through the air or somebody scrambling around or it's PJ cutting through gaps and getting downfield, and then you have a chance on right there at the goal line, Miguel, to come in and just destroy a non-aware opponent and let Bird cut back into the end zone. How much of a sense of pride when they score do you have?
I mean, we don't really get talked about a lot, so we just let them shine. We do the dirty work. So, yeah.
Jalen, talk about that.
It just feel good, like seeing them celebrate, have fun.
You let them do all the, the dancing in the end zone.
All the extra stuff. Yeah.
I want to see you guys do the little hop and bump each other. You two guys are side by side. When Bird or PJ go scampering in the end zone, or even if it's the sophomore Peyton Lang or Dre, whoever gets in the end zone, I want to see you guys do the little high fives and the backs to each other. Can I get some of that Friday night?
Maybe.
No. Yeah. Coach Hill's canceling right now. Somebody get hurt.
All right, let's talk about what your future aspirations are. I know, Miguel, you've already committed to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Yes,
what
sir.
was it that got you to decide that you wanted to go to the city that never sleeps?
It just felt like family over there. Some of the guys are not even from Las Vegas. Some are from New York, Texas, and a lot of different places. And as soon as I walked in, I felt amazing. I felt like home. They have some Oklahoma guys as well. Coach Bias and Coach Odoms, and then they just felt like family.
How much are you hearing from Caden McGee about, hey, I can't wait till you get here to be along with him?
Not a lot. He's focusing on his season, so
okay.
I respect it.
Jalen, what are you looking for as the college opportunities to come about, and what do you want to do on the next level?
I just want to go play football.
Play football, doesn't matter where, huh? All right.
Getting a lot of opportunities. I'll kind of speak up for him a little bit. There is doors opening week in and week out, and hopefully as the season progresses, something that opens up that Jalen really looks forward to.
Coach, it was interesting, and I saw the video clip and your reaction to about who's looking for who and who's not looking for who, and you can't really understand why. But with guys like this and others that are on this year's football team, it is kind of hard to grasp as to why there's not just a continual line of college recruiters knocking on your door and Coach Joseph's door to say, hey, we want Ruffers to come play for us.
Yeah, times are changing, Bill, and there's with that we could have a whole nother section on this
Sure.
right here, but between the transfer portal and some other things, it's becoming a little bit more difficult, including at the Division II level. So it's just something we're working with and adjusting to, and the kids are too, and they're starting to identify and understand it too. But doors will open for them if we keep on pursuing it. And like I said, their play on the field, it's going to get obvious eventually.
Well, it certainly will. It'll take, like they said in Field of Dreams, build it, they will come.
They'll
Well,
come.
you built a big offensive line. I have no doubts that they're going to come and try to take these guys to another level. Now, I also like to find out what these guys like to do on their me time, what they like to do when they're not in the weight room, when they're not looking at film, when they're not in practice or involved in game. Jalen Burns, what do you like to do? I know you came to Muskogee from North Tulsa, but now what do you like to do when it's just you and a chance to kick back?
I like watching football. I just like football. I'm either playing football or watching football.
All right, and how much have you mastered the video games?
I'll be whooping Coach Joe a little bit.
I saw a shake of the head from PJ down on the other end, but I kind of think the players never do.
They looked at each other immediately. So you knew something was getting ready.
You knew there was a competition for sure. Hey, Miguel, I know that you also have a few things that you like to do in your free time.
Yeah, I play video games as well. Not as much as anymore, but I really spend time outside. I have a truck outside that I really like working on. And, trying to impress the ladies or something. But
that's why he wore the pink hat here tonight, try to get everybody's attention, too.
No.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you guys here with us. Now, tell us how good was that three-meat combo that there was nothing but the bones left?
Oh, it was amazing. I like the bologna. I love the bologna.
Jalen, what was your favorite part of it?
The ribs.
The ribs. Yeah. You can't go wrong no matter what you choose off the menu. And these guys certainly proved it, Coach, that not only do they know how to play football, they know how to eat.
Yes, sir.
They got it done. There's 3-meat combo. I still got a little left, and it's gone.
Yeah, they've taken the plates away. So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the upcoming Friday night road trip as the Ruffers will go to take on the Patriots of Putnam City. But first, this time out on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show from Runt's Barbecue.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
There's really only one explanation for businesses who continue to thrive for decades on end, and that's a people-first mentality. Bravado employees live within our existing coverage area just like you. Our kids go to the same schools and play in the same leagues as yours. That's why so much of who we are consists of giving back to our communities, because your community is also our community. We are your family, your neighbors, and your leader in wireless mobility. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Jay Hodge here with Rick, a man of few words. Wow! That's one of them. And when you see the savings at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee, tell them, Rick. Wow! New Silverado's 1.9% financing or $5,600 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Don't overpay. Come see Jay.
New Silverado's 1.9% financing.
Wow!
Now at Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee,
144 West Shawnee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity